Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome to another tip of the month. In this tip of the month, as promised in the last one, I'm going to talk to you now about BS3621. I'm going to try and keep it quicker. But when I did the TS007 one, I said most doors are UPVC or composite, so this probably doesn't apply, BS3621, blah, blah. Next thing, inbox flooded. I've got a timber door, what's BS3621, blah, blah. So here we are, without further ado, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'm trying to keep this nice and quick and so you don't all switch off. But the main thing to get out of this is you can check yourselves without needing a locksmith. You can check yourself whether you're up to standards for your insurance. Right, so first things first, there's many BS3621 locks on the market. Now, these are what we call 5-lever mortise locks. 5-lever is basically the gubbins inside it, what your key interacts with. So again, I don't want to get into too much technical jargon, but here we have a Union Strongbolt. Now, the Union Strongbolt is exactly the same footprint as the Era Fortress. So if you've got an Era Fortress and you want to change it and you haven't got an Era Fortress to hand, this is the one and you won't need to get your chisels out. Okie dokie. So first things first, with any BS3621 kite marked lock, you will have on the forend, like with TS007, the British standard kite mark, and it will also say BS3621 2007. Because it says 2007, don't worry, it's not out of date. That was the last time the standard was updated. So it's to that. Now, a few properties of a BS3621 lock. So you will notice that it has a hardened plate there and a hardened plate there. Now that is actually over the top of where the levers and the stump are. So if you've got a locksmith who's trying to get a destructive entry and they know they're up against a BS3621 lock, they know it's going to be slower than if they was just drilling out a normal lock because hardened plates are there, and that's what the test of BS3621 requires. So if someone's trying to attempt to break in at your property, this is why you want a BS3621 lock, because we just want to slow them down basically. So we have hardened plates on it. That's one feature of a BS3621 lock. Another feature is that the levers should have anti-pick on them, some of the levers, not all of the levers, but it does need to have anti-pick features. So basically, if we're picking it, it's going to go into a false gate. And we're basically, when we're trying to pick it, the levers go like this and the stump goes like this, and that's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get the stump inside the lever. But the problem is, when we're picking it and it's got false gates in it, it's getting stuck. So that is a really positive thing for a BS3621 lock. Now, what else? It stipulates a minimum bolt throw of 20 millimeters, just off one key turn. A lot of the non-British standard locks will have a 14 millimeter bolt, but as you can see on this one, very, very beefy. And what else it will look for is things like anti-saw protection. This one actually has bars in it. So if you imagine you were trying to saw it, every time you're trying to saw it, it rolls and stops you from sawing it. So another good thing. These have also been force tested, so they will, an impact of while the bolt's thrown in the test lab, an impact will be hitting it and they will be going through that as well. And what helps that is that with a BS3621, the keep, so the bit which goes in the frame, must be solid. It can't be just like the plastic splinter box that you get with the cheaper non-British standard locks. Now, what's really interesting about BS3621 locks is, and I used to work for a large manufacturer who produced these, they produce that many of them. They're such a big seller. Generally speaking, they're not as expensive as the 3-lever non-British standard mortise locks. So if you check your doors and it's not a British standard lock, don't be worried and think it's going to cost you absolutely thousands to change it. It's generally not. It's not. And it could be one of the most important things that you do to get your house up to insurance approval. Because if you got broken into, like I say, these things slow burglars down. If you got broken into very, very quickly and your insurance company comes out or they send someone like us to have a look at it, we'll say, look, I'm really sorry, but your locks went to insurance approved standard, and your insurers generally probably won't pay out. So that was a top tip of the month. Hopefully that clears it up. Like I said before, if you want to get in touch, and you all did, but if you want to get in touch, please, please, please get in touch and we're more than happy to help. Okie dokie. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.